Greetings, this is August 20th, and those red and purple skies of yesterday may be clearing just in time for the running of the plums. Hopefully we'll get enough sunshine for the harvest to ripen up and move gracefully into September. We're going to take a look at a few screens from the Canadian Wildland Fire Information System. The link is below. This is through the NRC, and they've got really good data. It's been difficult logging onto the site for me for the last few days just because there's so much information and a lot of users trying to access this system. We're going to go back in time, start on August 10th, and move forward until we arrive at today. And hopefully we'll be able to see where fire patterns have progressed and maybe where they've withdrawn a bit. So we're starting on August 10th, and I'll call out the days. August 11th, August 12th, August 13th, August 14th, August 15th, August 16th, August 17th, August 18th, August 19th, and finally August 20th. I noticed a reduction in the number of hotspots on August 12th, August 13th, and then back on August 15th, August 16th, 17th, they began to increase again. Let's rerun the animation. This time we're going to zoom into the area around Highway 16 between the Shovel Lake Fire, the Nadina Fire, Francois Lake, and Fraser Lake. We're going to start on August 13th, and now it's rolling into the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and today. It appears that the days August 14th, 17th, and 18th had extensive movement east and southeastwards. There have been some hot spots showing excursion to the north of these perimeters, but there now appears to be less infrared within those fire pockets. Let's take a quick look at a snapshot of today. This is the South Caribou Thompson-Nicola. I'm seeing some infrared on the east end of Mahood Lake, over at the Wild Goose Lake fire, that's on the left-hand side of your screen, and also north of Canham Lake, there's a couple, and northwest of Clearwater. Now we're going to take a look at an image from the South Okanagan. This is around Karamias, Princeton, on the Similkameen near Headley. We're looking at the Olalla fire, the cluster of infrared to the lower right of your screen, that's the Karamias fire, and also over to the left-hand side of your screen, that's the fire that's between Eastgate and the Similkameen heading northwards towards Princeton. I am seeing a few sparks being thrown out from these main clusters. The Eastgate fire to the left of your screen appears to have more lateral or horizontal motion at this time. That could be due to a shift in the winds. And the Olalla fire north of Highway 3 on the right-hand side of your screen, that appears to be throwing a few sparks closer to the highway in a westerly direction. The wind patterns have been coming from the north over the last couple days. And that's the same for this area to the west of Castlegar, the south end of Arrow Lake. However, winds have been shifting more the northwest to the southeast. I am seeing a lot of these random hot spots being kind of thrown out from those main fire bodies. I believe the fire behavior is being influenced by these breezes as they come around the lake towards Castlegar. We're moving eastwards now towards Kimberley and St. Mary's Lake. This is the Meechin fire. It's been making an approach eastwards towards the valley at St. Mary's Lake, but it's been halted, and there are some excursions northwards up to that ridge line, and hopefully they can be stopped before they approach down the other side into the valley. There have been northeast breezes in this area that would definitely help this situation, but again, the wind can be variable. You might be on the eastern slope of a valley and the wind is coming from the west. So it really depends on your position and the lay of the land and the terrain. We're going to jump now to the far north, top of the province. We're looking at Telegraph Creek on the left-hand side and the fire near Laird on the right-hand side. Let's run the animation again. We're starting on August 13th and we'll roll towards today. This is the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and the 20th today. The fire over at the Laird River, this has definite movement eastward, whereas the fire around Telegraph Creek appeared to die down a bit on the 17th, and it's been showing now movement more northwesterly and just a general expansion as this fire is kind of aging in place. We're seeing distinct weather patterns between these two fires, and that probably has a lot to do with the terrain that varies between each location. Also, the fires near Laird may be more of a modified response, kind of letting it naturally burn, monitoring the situation, whereas at Telegraph Creek, crews may be halting expansion and forcing the fire to stay put and away from infrastructure. Let's jump over to Windy and take a look around the province. So a lot of that flow that was coming down the center of the province, moving from the north to the south, may have helped to push some of the smoke out of the air. I'm sure there's a lot of haze out there, but the skies seem to be a little bit brighter. And we're looking at wind coming from the northeast over on the southeastern portion of the province. Windy showing 13 kilometers an hour from the northeast at Kimberley, and then 7 kilometers an hour from the northeast around the fires at Shovel Lake, Francois Lake, Fraser Lake. And just to show you how localized these wind patterns can be, right at Fraser Lake on the shore southeast, 2 kilometers an hour. Then we're looking at 10 kilometers an hour coming from the southwest over in the northeast around Fort Nelson, Fort St. John. It's kind of its own microclimate in this area. If you don't have Windy, I highly recommend you go to the .com or download the app. It's been very accurate last year, 2017, and this year, very good wind pattern diagrams, and they're hooked into weather stations all over, all throughout BC, and they coordinate the data and then make fairly accurate predictions on what's going on in specific locations. Another great resource are the highway cams at Drive BC. The link is below. We're looking at the Big Bar cam. This is pointing north towards the chasm, 70 Mile House. I am seeing a little more lightness in the sky. There is that haze. And then if we move up to Begbie, this is pointing north towards 100 Mile House. Almost blue sky above, a lot less haze. Now we're moving over to Falkland. This cam we could barely see. Now we can view the mountain in the distance through the haze. And if we take a look around Quesnel, Dragon Lake, blue sky, this is pointing north. So just a different day today. Some of that smoke has cleared. And finally, we're going to come all the way back down to Karameas, close to the border with the United States. And this is looking westwards. We can see the Similkameen Valley in the distance. A lot of haze still in there, but generally a lighter sky, a lighter day, less haze. Just remember that the weather patterns have been very localized of late, so you might be having more smoke in your area, whereas another might be having quite a clear day. This has been a kind of a quick video looking at the Canadian Wildland Fire Information System, which I was able to get back on. I wanted to grab some screens, show them to you. You can go to the link below, look into your area of concern. I'm hoping that the smoke that everyone had to endure over the last few days actually helped to smother some of these fires, but be careful. A fresh wind comes in with new oxygen, we can have flare-up. So check with the official resources below, find out where the evacuation notices are, look for new starts on the BC wildfire map, and keep your nose to the breeze. Thank you very much for watching.